There is a binder not full of women, but full of classified Russian intelligence that we have recently learned went missing in the final days of the Trump administration. It's the same old story all over again. CNN was the first to report about the mystery of the missing binder, how a collection of raw Russian intelligence disappeared under Trump. A number of reporters contributing to this story. And it reads, a binder containing highly classified information related to Russian election interference went missing at the end of Donald Trump's presidency, raising alarms among intelligence officials that some of the most closely guarded national security secrets from the U.S. and its allies could be exposed, sources familiar with the matter told CNN. Its disappearance, which has not been previously reported, was so concerning that intelligence officials briefed Senate Intel Committee leaders last year about the missing materials and the government's efforts to retrieve them. In the 2+ years since Trump left office, the missing intelligence does not appear to have been found. What is in there? The binder contained raw intel the U.S. and NATO allies collected on Russians and Russian agents, including sources and methods that informed the U.S. government's assessment that Putin sought to help Trump win in 2016. Listen to this. The intelligence was so sensitive that congressional aides with top secret security clearances were able to review the materials only at CIA headquarters, where their work scrutinizing it was itself kept in a locked safe, meaning notes about this material were kept in a locked safe. And this disappeared in the final days of the Trump presidency. Now, we are in the speculation phase as to what happened here. But any normal person, knowing everything that Trump's been accused of, everything we know about Trump, the recordings waving around classified documents, any normal person, if you go to them, a 10-year-old, if you go to them and you say, hey, this guy who's known for taking classified documents to his house, in the last few days he was president, a binder full of classified information went missing. And by the way, the binder contained intelligence information that confirms a story Trump sought to deny for years. Where would you guess the binder went? Any 10-year-old with a good head on their shoulders is going to say, oh, Trump or someone around him took the documents, obviously. Okay, now, we don't know that to be true at this point in time. It's been 2 years and they haven't found the documents. Have they been shredded? Are they, did Trump flush them down the toilet? Low flow toilet, so he's got to flush 10 to 15 times. We don't know the answer at this point in time, but it is yet another element of this story. And the big picture story is Trump takes documents, Trump gets rid of documents that are disadvantageous or inconvenient to the story that he is trying to push. Will we ever figure out where this binder went? I have no idea. This document could, we're talking about paper. This stuff could have long been burned or flushed. We don't know. But at the end of the day, it should concern everyone, not only the people who are not Trump supporters. It should concern everyone. Number one, that we had a president in office willing to do these things. But number two, that once again, the checks and balances and so many of the systems that are in place, they never accounted for a presidency from a guy like Trump who would flout the checks, balances, norms, and procedures in a way that apparently the founding fathers never imagined. So that's really the big story here. And I guess we're continuing to look for that. One other note about this from the CNN article. Cassidy Hutchinson, one of Mark Meadows' top aides, testified to Congress and wrote in her memoir, she believes Meadows took home an unredacted version of the binder. She said it had been kept in Meadows' safe. She saw him leave with it from the White House, saying to the January 6th committee, I am almost positive it went home with Mr. Meadows. Now, a lawyer for Meadows denies he mishandled anything, didn't specifically address that binder. This raises more questions, not only about Mark Meadows' possible involvement, but arguably even more so as to how many copies of these documents they are, documents that supposedly weren't supposed to be copied, but it's the Trump White House. Anything went, anything goes, anything could have happened. Will we ever find it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments.